Hello everybody, GM, and welcome to this new GM Web3 MultiversX edition. It's a live X space every Wednesday at 10 a.m. CET to find out everything about MultiversX ecosystem. This show will then be published on podcast platforms, on our YouTube channel, and on the Cyborg app. And I am very happy to co-host this show with my friend Arno, BizDev manager at Soul and Atom Protocol. How are you, Arno?
Morning, Jerem. I am in a very good mood today, and I'm very happy to have this space with you because we have an exceptional person speaking with us this morning.
Yeah, it's interesting, and of course we'll take the time for this. But first, I would like to thank the main sponsor and partner of this podcast, which is Atom Protocol. It's the MultiversX leading lending, borrowing, and liquid staking platform, and they are offering $25 in their token, the HT AIM. And to take part of this giveaway, all you have to do is to quote tweet the Twitter space link and say what you think about GM Web3 MultiversX. Of course, says good thing only. I of course, put their link on the comment section. It's pinned at the moment. Today, we are with, let's start with, Philippe, founder of CryptoBay and creator of, sometimes popularization videos on MultiversX. Philippe, what's up, and when new videos, by the way?
Hey, good morning, everyone. GM, Arno, everyone. GM. No, listen, hard morning. I mean, a lot of work the last days and the last 2 weeks, as you probably saw online. I mean, some stuff are in preparation. I mean, to be honest, this 10 days of collaboraton, but that will be another subject, have been really remotivating me on a lot of different aspects. So I'm reorganizing everything. I mean, some stuff will be released soon. I mean, I try to realign my objectives, video included. Don't worry on that. There will be more videos. It's just like I would like to let's say start two different things and continue on that. And yeah, a lot of things are in the oven, if I can say. So looking forward to discuss all these aspects with you in detail on this dedicated video.
You make me want to ask you some leak.
Yeah, no, I will avoid that today. Okay. We'll have more discussion with the team, and after that, I'm sure we can disclose. I mean, there's nothing secret about this project. Everything is open source and stuff. So that will be clear and open to everyone to discuss it.
Okay, and we are also with my dear friend Joachim, founder of Gaopa Labs and big contributor on MultiversX ecosystem. Hello, Joachim. What's up?
Good morning. Very excited to be here. We've been waiting for this day, waiting to have xExchange's Lucas coming, so I'm extremely excited about today.
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody here is can't wait this interview. It will happen in 25 minutes. So today's program will be, as usual, very busy. First of all, we'll be doing a press review of the main Web3 news. After, Arno will host his weekly column about the Atom yield report. And at like 10:30, we'll be receiving Lucas, so the head of xExchange, and xExchange is here with us, by the way, for the space. And at the end of the show, our dear friend Rock will be hosting the NFT Chronicles, and he will be taking a look at Bugha's news, the NFTs on MVX, but also things that happened around DGods. I think it's something relevant for all of us about the role of NFTs in the Web3 space. Before we start, guys, don't forget to retweet the space link. We have many giveaways for you this morning, and you need to quote tweet the space to enter, to put a like, a comment, and if you're listening to the show on replay on podcasts, on YouTube and so on, don't forget to subscribe, to add a link, a comment, and to activate the bell so you don't miss any shows. It's very, very important for us in terms of referencement. Also, the space is interactive. So feel free to ask your questions in the comment. We will read them live. So let's move on to the Web3 news. With the new concept, do we care or not? So I'm going to offer you several news items, and it's up to you to tell me whether we care or not. If you don't care, we'll pass to the other one. And if we care, we will elaborate and we'll discuss about it. Is that okay, guys?
Yes, it is. Let's go.
Go, go, go.
Okay. So first of all, and it's very fresh news, DBS, the largest bank in Singapore, adopts Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do we care or not?
We don't. It is the 50th to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So one more bank. You're right.
Yes. But it's good. I mean, it's good that we reached that point, to be honest.
Yes. And mostly because Singapore is today the heart of Web3 this week. Because of Singapore 2049, all the Web3 is there, and looks like a big and very, very successful event. So that's interesting. And we received Tikapo a bit late today. Hello, Tikapo, what's up?
Hello, guys. Very happy to be here.
Likewise. Welcome. Okay, let's go for another news. 40 companies selected to explore tokenization with the Bank of International Settlements.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, just to be clear, Bank for International Settlements is one of the biggest and the most influential monetary institution in the world. Okay, so really, it's important for you to understand how big this is. And well, this institution has partnered with over 40 private companies through its Agora project, which aims to explore cross-border payments using tokenization. This initiative focuses on improving transactions between commercial banks and central banks through blockchain technology. So it's like huge. It's not like the CBDC, which will be between the retail and the central bank. It's about the transaction between the central bank and the commercial banks. So it's huge in terms of impact, and the project seeks to enhance the speed, the transparency, and the efficiency of cross-border payments by leveraging tokenized digital assets, marking a significant step toward integrating blockchain into global financial systems. What do you think about this, Philip?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important news, like you say, because it's a big actor that will use the technology doing exactly more or less transborder payment using blockchain technology. I mean, it's interesting. I have only problem with all this news. I mean, because it's not the first one. I mean, with Swift and all the others, they're all taking this direction more or less. But my vision is more like currently they are creating a parallel technology, if I can say, a parallel blockchain that is not really public. In fact, they're just replacing the internal system with a blockchain. I mean, that's what blockchain is. It's a technology. It's a database that you can use. So it's what they are doing. But I'm not sure it's where we want to go as a citizen. Because personally, my problem with that is like the blockchain itself, it's an internet where value can be transferred between people and actors on using the network. And I would like to see that happening on public chain. In fact, on something that is getting open to the public, getting open to validator, getting open to external people from their company. I think that would be the next steps, and I'm really looking forward to see that, because at the moment, I'm just seeing company experimenting. It's nice, but it's still really early, I guess.
But you're right, it's pretty paradoxical, because they are using Bitcoin's technology, to preserve their own system, whereas Bitcoin was created to compete with their technology, their system, sorry. Joachim?
Yeah, as Philippe was saying, blockchain is just a fancy database that is immutable and uses time to protect it. So while I feel like we have this big focus on the payment in the Web3 world, as Philippe was saying, they're not the first. We have, for example, JP Morgan with the Onyx solution, which has been in the works and I think is actually running for a few years now. That does just that, allows to set, well, not between central banks, but between their partners and theirs, they have this settlement layer that they're using. And with central banks, it's a bit different because central banks obviously serve the people and the country. But I don't think there is a necessity for it to be open and public. But what it allows for is accountability, meaning that if something were to go wrong, we can then take in instances and actually have people who are educated for it go through the logs and see what went wrong, where something had been. While nowadays, like the Swift system, for example, is extremely hard to actually keep track of stuff. And there's been many cases of money just disappearing and no one is sure of where it went. So it's still a massive step ahead, in my opinion.
Okay, quickly, Tikapo, because after we need to go for another news.
Yeah, I really agree with Joachim and Philippe. Just to add something, that's a bullish news because we know banking institution is really old thing that have a lot of process and don't really want to lose their take at the moment. You know, they are really good established into cities, company, and so on. Exploring blockchain technology is just a sign that the technology come to another point with maturity, then they can consider to maybe build their new backbone or their system, their ecosystem. So that's really interesting for us because we are making a step further into the blockchain adoption, but in the right way.
Okay, thank you guys. Do you know Bhutan?
The country?
Yes.
The gas?
The country. Bhutan holds 13,000 Bitcoin. Do we care or we don't?
I mean, I saw this news yesterday very quickly and I didn't dig. I'm interested to know why do they buy Bitcoin?
Actually, they don't.
It's another country that is doing it. So same as banks, you know, it's not something new, but why are they doing it?
So,
or was it seized?
So no, they don't buy Bitcoin. They mine it. So that's the difference, and it's very interesting. So Bhutan holds 13,000 Bitcoins, valued around $760 million, according to Arkham Intelligence. This put Bhutan ahead of El Salvador in terms of BTC reserves. The country has accumulated these Bitcoins primarily through mining activities, which have expanded since 2023. The value of Bhutan's BTC holdings represents approximately 25% of its reserved, highlighting the country's significant reliance on Bitcoin as part of its economic strategy. So it's really huge for a country to decide to mine, to go through mining activities and to hold this Bitcoin for long term. So yeah, I think it's big, and I think in the next months and years we will have more and more countries that will decide to make Bitcoin as a strategic national reserve, and maybe USA someday. Philippe?
Yeah, just checking, and seems like Bhutan, I mean, just to make the parallel quickly on the mining of crypto, is one of the biggest producer of hydroelectric power, and is even selling extra electricity to India, seems so. So I think in their policy and their approach, they've been really smart, like China is doing also with hydropower, putting the extra energy that is not used by the population, either to export it if it's rentable, or to directly putting on mining station at the production plants. So no, it makes sense, and I think they will continue like that. It's a good policy in long term, I guess, for them.
Okay. MicroStrategy continues Bitcoin purchases with debt. Do we care or we not?
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay.
Vanek shuts down Ethereum ETF, and Wisdom Tree withdraws its feeling about it. Do we care or we not?
Is it the spot ETF that they shut
future.
down? Future. Okay, we don't care.
We don't care.
Okay. Kraken decides to push back against regulators and especially SEC. Do we care or we not?
Oh, we care. We're cypherpunks here.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
Yes, that's the spirit. Now, Kraken, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, is stepping up efforts to fight back against SEC, led by Gary Gensler. So the company, feeling particularly targeted by what it sees as overly strict regulations, is pushing for more balanced oversight of the sector. The standoff with the SEC brings to light disagreements over defining crypto assets as securities, which affects how exchanges and crypto products are regulated in the United States. So they are asking for laws, clear and written. Clear, so they can't be interpreted by a judge, and written because there are so many things around crypto industry that are not in the law, and it's just something that people should know, but it's not written. So Kraken decides not to wait for pursue by the SEC, but to attack them for lack of transparency and clearness about the law. What do you think?
Guys.
Okay, you care.
But you don't. Like guys, you said you cared, so please answer.
Yeah, it's true. The one who says I care is supposed to say something about no, but seriously, I think it's a good move. Because for now and for years now, SEC is suing like every crypto actors in the United States of America, and they always have to defend themselves. Sometimes they threaten the SEC and the U.S. government, like Coinbase, who threatened to leave the United States if the regulation is not like more fair. But now I think things are changing, and notably with the U.S. election, on which the crypto key actors expect more support from the next president. So maybe, comment on dit en anglais, ils se sont poussés des ailes. Ce serait bien de pouvoir le dire. Ça, j'adorerais pouvoir le dire.
They feel wind growing on their backs. And
they feel like they are growing wings. I think we can say it like this. Anyway.
Obviously, I can fly. I mean.
Okay, Joachim.
Yeah, just as a comparison, it is interesting to think about, like, we often complain, and I think we are right to complain about regulation in Europe, that it is very regulated, it kills innovation, etc. But I feel like in a certain sense, we do have the benefit in Europe that because everything is so regulated, you know beforehand if you're going to get sued or no. While in the US, I feel like they never know where the SEC stands, and that's one of the big complaints they've had with Gary Gensler of like, what is the security, what is not, and no one giving an answer on which crypto is the security and what defines it. So to a certain extent, it creates a lot of frustration, and it makes us think that, like, as you say, maybe a new government will have a better impact. But isn't it sometimes better to be very regulated and set the framework than one day getting a letter by the SEC suing you for way too much?
Philippe?
Yeah, no, and I agree with what Joachim says. And I would just add something. That's why I was waiting for a first answer. But I mean, something that Kraken also saw, and the entire industry, is also the political aspect of the SEC, and that has been pointed recently by a lot of organisms and courts. There will be currently like kind of a cleaning happening at the SEC. And that's true at Kraken, in fact, if they need to act, I guess, with all the precedent that happened and all these things, they need to sue the SEC to start to build a case, I guess. I don't know if the first case is closed with Kraken because there have been a lot of suing, like you say, from the SEC. But I'm curious to see if they are not doing that to build the case with what's currently happening at the SEC, and that other actor will join the movement, in fact, let's see, or at least doing a parallel one to create their own case. That could be something to follow. I mean, like the SEC makes some abuse the last years, and I think it's just fair what's happening now.
Okay. Coinbase launches its own wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. And they're attacked for this by the founder of Tron blockchain.
Sorry, can you repeat, Jeremy?
Yeah, Coinbase launches its own wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum.
Oh, yes, I've seen this. That's interesting. Yes, please, go on.
Yes, it's interesting because it's not just a new wrapped token by an exchange. It's not just that, because the founder of the Tron blockchain, Justin Sun, accuses Coinbase of being too close to the regulator and urges investors to steer clear of this wrapped Bitcoin. So it's interesting to see the role of these wrapped cryptocurrencies, and especially Bitcoin, who is supposed to be pseudonymous, and with Coinbase it will not be anymore. So yeah, that's in my opinion interesting.
Yeah, it is because then what's happening is that the collateral attached to this Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin is held by Coinbase, and it's absolutely not held in a decentralized way. So yes, and then what you, especially in DeFi, it can become a problem, because if you use this Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin as a collateral in a decentralized DeFi protocol, in a decentralized finance protocol, like I don't know, if tomorrow Aave or Hatom, for example, if I don't know, if we start having this version of Bitcoin on MultiversX, then you have this asset in your balance sheet as a collateral, and it means that ultimately Coinbase has leverage over your platform. It's reasonably the same with USDC and USDT when you think about it, and that's why it's important to have decentralized crypto actives. So, of course, Ethereum, Bitcoin, in our case, EGLD, but also decentralized stablecoins.
Okay, we will finish this press review just by saying that CZ will be released from prison by the end of the month. Of course, we will follow his next days and weeks around the Binance governance. Before moving on to the interview with Lucas, the head of xExchange, we will now move on to your weekly column. Arnaud, each week in partnership with Hatom, you will review the best performance strategies in the Hatom protocol and explain a DeFi concept. You're on?
I'm on. All right. So, the weather channel this week. What are the hottest APYs in the lending protocol? So, I think there is a constant on MultiversX. Thanks to Hatom, liquid staking is hot. So you can liquid stake your EGLD for up to 9.3% APY. It is a little bit less hot than last week. It was 9.4 APY last week, but I mean, it's still quite exceptional. You can do the same with your Tau tokens for up to 18.1% APY. Stablecoins still very hot on MultiversX. You can lend your stablecoin, especially USDT, for up to 18.2% APY. This won't last, so you make your own decisions, but those are cool opportunities. Moving on to the DeFi concept of the week. Last week, we talked about borrow limit used. If you remember, when you lend and borrow on Atom, you have a very simple bar showing you basically your capacity to borrow against your collateral. This week, we move further. We teased it last week, but this week we go into it. We go into the terrible concept of liquidation. So liquidation is, in decentralized finance, a word that is often associated to a catastrophe. But the truth is, liquidation is the healthy response to make sure that decentralized protocols like Atom keep healthy for everybody. So when you borrow assets using your crypto as collateral, the platform needs to ensure that the value of your collateral remains higher than the value of your borrowed amount. Because if the value of your collateral drops underneath, then for the whole protocol, it becomes super risky. Not just for the protocol, but also for all the other users who are lending crypto in the protocol. So you have liquidation there to protect everybody and also protect yourself as a user. So liquidation happens on Atom when your borrow limit used goes above 100%. So you remember, you have this bar showing 100%. When you lend and then when you collateralize your crypto and then you borrow, your bar will show your borrow limit used. So when this bar gets into the red zone and surpasses 100%, then you become liquidable. So what happens, especially on Atom? When your borrow limit used goes over 100%, there is a smart contract that anybody can interact with to liquidate your position. So not every lending protocol has the same rules regarding liquidation, so I'm going to talk about the Atom specifically. On Atom, a liquidator can repay the loan of a user that is eligible to liquidation only up to 50% of his collateral value. Don't panic, I'm going to use round numbers with an example. So let's say that you have $100 worth of EGLD as a collateral. EGLD has a collateral factor of 75%. This means that if you have $100 worth of EGLD as collateral, you cannot borrow more than $75 worth of assets on Atom. So let's say that you're a little reckless and you do. So you borrow $75 of USDC. Then EGLD takes a hit in the market and drops in value. Then your borrow limit used goes above 100% because your EGLD goes down, so your collateral value goes down, and in the eyes of Atom, your position is now risky. So there's a smart contract that gets activated, and anybody can interact with this smart contract and liquidate your position. So they can liquidate up to let's say that your EGLD has gone down just a little bit, so the example stays simple, they can liquidate up to 50% of your collateral to repay the loan. So let's say they will repay $50. So they repay $50 of your loan. So you remember you borrowed $75. So now they repay 50. So you're safe. Your position is safe. But what they can do is that they will take the same amount of collateral plus a liquidation penalty of 8%. So they will take $54 out of your collateral. What happens for you then is that basically, as a user, you had a collateral of $100 and a borrow of 75. You got liquidated, and there's a person who came in, repaid for $50 of your borrow. So now you're down to $25 of borrow. So your position is healthy, but they seized $50 out of your collateral plus 8% as a liquidation penalty. So $4. So this is, as a user, what you lost in the process of liquidation. You lost $4 out of your 100 that you had in the beginning. And so the 8%, just to give you every detail of the process, is split between the liquidator and Atom protocol to make sure that there's an incentive for everybody to keep the full protocol safe. So GRM, liquidation is a bit technical. I hope that,
Yes, it's technical, but it's fundamental. And I really appreciate the way you explained it. And
is it clear?
Yes, it is.
It's not an easy exercise, to be honest.
No, but you did it very well, in my opinion. And it was interesting to say it helps to maintain the protocol healthy. And I think all is in this sentence. But thank you for the technical review of it. Thank you very much, Arno. And thank you, Hatem, for this column. So before moving to the interview with Lucas, who is now a speaker with us, I would like to thank this issue's sponsor, the famous Launchpad Be Hero. I'm sure you know them. And yesterday I was attending to a very big Twitter space they're organized with many builders. And I was with DP Crypto to give my overview about the crypto ecosystem, crypto situation, and the MVX ecosystem. And it was very cool, and there was a lot of builders on it. So yeah, feel free to listen to this space in replay on their page. So to be eligible for a giveaway of $25 in their token, the BHAT token, just tweet the Twitter space link and say what you think about GM Web3. Of course, negative comments are not eligible. And I will put the link on the comment. Well, I did it already. And for the interview, we will receive Lucas. Hello, Lucas. What's up?
Hello, guys. Do you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Jerem, for the invitation. I know it has been a while we have been discussing for this, and I was always each time pushing back and saying like when V3 will be released, because it was the utmost priority at the time. But I'm very, very happy that it finally happened and that I could finally join your space. And also, hi, Arno, Ticapo, Joachim. There was Flip before, but I don't see him anymore. Hi, guys.
We also have a special columnist today as Davey Crypto, who just left. Okay, no, but he's supposed to be there, so he will join. Definitely, he would not miss this interview at any case. So Lucas, we have 1 hour all together. We have many things to discuss about together. I have around 15 questions, and of course I took mostly all the questions from the community members under the different posts that we made about this interview. So the goal of this discussion will be to understand what you've been building for more than 1 year now. What's the product that you finally delivered? Of course, we will speak and answer all the critics, the good and the bad about the protocol, and we will try to understand what are the next steps for xExchange, which is the core DEX of MultiversX, but also for maybe the future of DeFi on MultiversX. So first of all, maybe can you just introduce yourself in a very short way, like 1 minute, just for people maybe that doesn't know you. So can you, tell us about you a bit?
Sure. So I have. Sorry, my mic turned off. So
you cut every mic.
That's my bad.
It's
okay.
It's me.
Oh, it's you. You censored everyone here.
Okay.
Sorry, Lucas, go ahead.
No worries. So I have a background in mathematics and computer science, and I've been building startups for 6 to 7 years now. Since then I finished high school. I quickly went into the crypto field very quickly because as soon as I started to discover the technology, I just continued to read more and more on this stuff. My aha moment was when I read for the first time the Uniswap Solidity code, and I found it outstanding how such a small code, which was 500 lines of code, was doing such a big thing. I think it was billions of volumes each month. And at that point, I really got an aha moment where I thought I really need to go further in this field. And I already had all the skills to do so, mathematical, computer science skills, business skills also. So I thought that's really the field. That's a field that really interests me, and I will dedicate more of my time. And then starting this moment, I started to develop smart contracts, to build decentralized apps, and so on. Along the journey, I discovered Elrond, MultiversX, which was called Elrond back in the time, and quickly started to build also on MultiversX. And when I saw that the level of the technology there, not talking only about the blockchain itself, the decentralization and so on, the sharding and so on, but also about the VM, the ESDT standard, and a lot of things that comes along, I thought that blockchain is really awesome, and I should really spend more time building on it. And progressively, we just went all in on this blockchain. And then we built for a long time. We have a tool that was called Arda, and is now called Xbond, which is a portfolio tracker. We built a noded firm, which is called Arda. We built a lot of things on MultiversX, and at some point we started to get in touch with Benjamin and Lucien. It was around, I would say, July 2022, so 6 months before xExchange V2 release. And we started the work from there with them. We started working on the white paper for V2 and so on. And progressively we worked closer and closer to the MultiversX team. And at some point we joined. And after, it has been a crazy journey so far inside MultiversX. So we joined a few months before the V2 release. We helped a lot on audits, white paper, and smart contracts, and a lot of things related to the economics and so on. And then continued the work post V2, researching other protocols and so on. And progressively, I personally took the role of leading xExchange. And approximately, I would say in August or maybe September last year, we started the plan of V3. And only in September, we really started the work on V3. So it was like, it has been a progressive journey towards V3.
We will speak about we will speak about the roadmap and the different dates, and of course about the delay. Thank you for the introduction. It's interesting since it's your first interview on GM Web3, and I don't know if you already went to another like X-Spaces like this. So it's a good exercise for you. So thank you very much for this. So first of all, Lucas, if you agree, just to start before the touchy questions, can you describe the main change of xExchange V3? Do it, please, in a clear and short way, so we can understand what's new on this xExchange V3, please.
So, I mean, there are many different things, but if I had to synthesize it very shortly, I would say that basically we rethought xExchange from the ground up. Each part of xExchange from the ground up, going from the trade experience to the energy, the token, and so on. We rethought everything from the ground up in order to make it extremely easy for users to grasp all the concepts of xExchange. And there are side notes to...
No, just do you want maybe to enlighten the biggest change in your opinion, the most most powerful ones?
So I would say first this thing of, so the thing is that, I could, for example, mention one, like the position creators that we did. But the thing is that I don't believe there is one extremely strong contribution that we did in V3, but more like a ton of medium-sized contribution that we did that all packed together make a huge difference on the user experience. So I would say one striking is position creators, for example, that allow user to do in one transaction or one click, let's say, things that before would have taken 10 different clicks, understanding potentially 10 different concepts, going on 10 different pages and so on. So it's like a huge improvements from user experience there. But I would not consider any of the things in V3 as like massive improvements in the sense of like or groundbreaking improvements. It's more a ton of medium-sized improvements that have impact in one release and that as a whole do a big difference there. I don't know if it answers your question.
It's clear and honest from your side. Thank you very much. The first question is one like everyone is asking. xExchange was scheduled for the end of 2023. It's coming out almost 1 year later. Why this delay?
So first, and maybe people will think I'm playing on the words, but it has never been scheduled for the end of 2023. It has been, we have given an ETA, which is just an estimation of time of arrival, which means like, given the information we have currently, we expect it to be ready by the end of 2023. But it's not like a schedule. Like we didn't like put something in our agenda saying like that day we should release. And I know that it's not something very clear for people what it means each year. It is something clear for myself, but it's not something clear for people. And so I can totally understand that people understood the ETA as like a schedule, like it has to be released by that date. And the thing is that it's something I learned the hard way, that first there is a big gap between how I explain or how I communicate and how people understand what I'm saying. So I learned this and it's a big lesson. Second is the fact that I think people don't realize how hard it is to predict software development. And for me, it's close to predicting weather. It's very close to predicting the weather. If a presenter tells you that tomorrow it's going to be sunny and tomorrow it rains, I mean, he's just predicting, like trying to estimate what tomorrow will be. He's not guaranteeing anything. And that was the kind of thing I was trying to do. But again, I understand if people didn't get it this way. The delay was way more than what I was myself imagining. So I I did a mistake even to give an ETA of Q4 2023, and I apologized. Posted a post to explain the situation and talk about my mistake. And basically the estimation was given based on discussions with.
No, it's okay. And after I will give the mic to Arno. Just the point here actually was not you to, like apologize or so forth, because we know how hard is it to predict, the delivering. That I even, know that when a developer tells you a precise date, for delivering something, he's lying. So it's okay about this. My question was more about,
what explains the delay, right?
Yes. What were the main challenges? Whether technical, regulatory, security. This is what people want to understand. If you can reveal this to us today.
So that's a very good question. Basically, that was the thing I was going to explain next, but how for myself to get concise on such topics. So the main reasons first are I mispredicted. So just to be clear, I mispredicted. I discussed internally with people and we tried to predict. So what I mean is that there is the normal delay of misprediction here that might already add a lot of time. Plus there is one thing, that is that I joined the company, MultiversX, but it's already an established company with its own internal process, with its own internal ways of doing things and so on. And I misunderstood the processes that was happening internally. So I would say one thing is this: I misunderstood the internal processes that were happening internally and how long things would take. Even though I discussed with person in charge of this and so on, there are so many things that go into a release of xExchange, like the design, the smart contracts, the security, the front end, the back end, the business side, the communication and so on. Like there are so many pieces that each person gives an estimate, but you have to bundle everything together and it's very hard to just give an estimate there. So that's one thing. And yes, so first thing, I didn't have a good enough understanding of the whole company, of all the parties, how they work, their process and so on, of how all this will play together. And second thing is that we discovered way many things that, and by way many things, I mean much more issues than what we anticipated. I really didn't anticipate that we would discover like so many issues, and some of them are even presented.
Lucas, I'm sorry, we have so many questions.
Okay,
the thing is, I'm listening. No, it's okay. I just want to move on and to give precise answers, and I'm listening to you, and I'm not hearing any concrete challenges that you faced, technical, security, regulatory, or anything. So were there any challenges or not? It was just smooth, but it took 1 year.
No.
That's it. It's my...
So I think the reason I've said concrete things, it's just that it's very hard to get them concrete for people's head. Like what I mean is that I cannot pinpoint there were way more issues in the smart contract, for example, than anticipated, and the testing and so on took way more time than anticipated. So I don't know if it's concrete for you, this one.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one. The second one, but that's not the main one. This is one which is very important, but the second one is that the company, or the way the company is structured itself, with a lot of different teams, each team has its own process and so on, makes it very hard to...
Okay, this is interesting. This is
the main thing that I want to say. But it's abstract for people not seeing this from their own eyes.
Now it's concrete, if I may, because you're saying that like xExchange is now like an independent structure from the foundation, like for 1 year or 2 years. I don't know exactly what was the beginning of this structuring in different product teams and organizations, so on. And maybe this transition took time.
So to be honest, the xExchange is not at all, the identity of xExchange and let's say the liberty of xExchange. We are getting liberty from MultiversX, the company, in order to build stuff. Like, we are not making things approved by, I don't know, the MultiversX co-founders and so on. So from, let's say, a decision point of view, we are independent, more or less. But from an execution point of view, we are absolutely not dependent from MultiversX. Like,
I think basically, it's the same for every product. But
this is important. What I mean is that the taking decisions is really nothing. Like, it's very easy to take decisions. Delivering on those decisions is like 99% of the difficulty. And so what I mean is that the xExchange team, it is called xExchange team because people are working on xExchange, but they are not, they are just, yeah, exactly. They are just working for MultiversX on xExchange.
Budget, you don't have dedicated teams to depend on this. And so I can understand, it can take maybe more or less time on different tasks. Thank you, Lucas. And sorry the way I drive the interview, but I really want to have precise answers.
Please.
Thank you very much. Arno, go ahead.
Please.
Yes. Hi, Lucas. I have one question for you to help everybody here and to understand what is the goal of such a change, because you said it's a full refresh of xExchange, meaning that this refresh has been motivated by most likely learnings. And so what is it, if you had to describe it in a few sentences, the big goal that you're trying to achieve with this refresh?
And the big goal is just to provide a better user experience. That was the big goal. That's all. Maybe I could explain why this big goal, because I've seen a lot of people discussing this. So I think one very important thing to be said is that we should differentiate users from investors. Like, we should differentiate people using the website or using xExchange.com from people having bought next and wanting the price to go up. And those persons are investors. Both are extremely important in the thing that we should differentiate them, and we should know to who we are talking to. So one of the first things I did when I started to lead xExchange was to talk to users about their experience on xExchange, and the most striking thing was how badly they understood most of the things in xExchange. The energy concept was very, very obscure for a lot of people, like not understanding the computations, what it is, how it helps, and so on. Same for the name of the products. People were lost. We got a ton of requests from people saying that it's too hard. They don't succeed to do the actions, don't understand, and so on. All my friends that were already into xExchange V1, and that went into xExchange V2, all told me, like, guys, I really don't understand this whole new thing. Seems very complicated. Really don't understand anything there, and so on. So just saying that we started from the users, and plus there were things promised in V2 that were not delivered in V2, like boosted metastaking and other stuff, like other things that had to be done in V2 that were not delivered, like the governance and so on. And we
please just answer questions about the goal, because of course you guess that we will deep dive in the features. And
so my answer is we started from users and try to just do a big cleanup on all the things that were needed in order to give a place to grow, place to continue to move forward.
And so
very clear.
And so if I understand correctly, what you're looking for is making xExchange easier to use so that you can expand it, have more users. Is that
exactly?
Okay.
Exactly. And I would say that my biggest mistake was to think that this whole thing will take 3 months. That was my biggest mistake in all this, to think that all this will take 3 months and after this will be fine and we'll move on with the next step. And it took 1 year. So yeah. Also, yeah. I don't want to tell more because I'm going to take time on the.
It's a hard exercise, but don't worry. The most important is at the end of the interview, every answers are every questions are answered. So no problem. And if you want to add anything at the end, you will be able to do it. The Arno's question leads me to another question from the community. Can you understand why the community, part of the community is disappointed that after so much time and delay, all we get is a UI and UX redesign and not much in the way of like new features and so forth. So was it, according to you, was it like a problem of communication? Or the community was just expecting things that was not announced, but maybe they made their own dream about the expectation. I have my answer about this, but I would like to have yours, of course.
So I would say that honestly, we have everything that we have announced, we have done. There are things that we announced will be done in the subsequent releases. What I mean is that the only mistake from all the communication is regarding the ETA that was given exactly. But we corrected this and we stick to the plan and deliver things that were in V2. I will always understand people complaining it didn't go fast enough, always, and I'm every day trying to push people inside of the team and inside MultiversX to go faster, optimize the process and so on. So I'm the first one to hear and see all the people complaining, and I feel very bad for whenever any person complains. I feel very bad, and I'm always trying to look forward on what can be improved there. And just to say it quickly, I understand. I would just say that I think that all users I've seen using the exchange have told me like it's such a big improvement. And I think it's also important to differentiate users of xExchange from investors in xExchange that just want the price of the token to go up. Both are important, but I'm just saying that it's important to make the distinction. Am I talking as a user or am I talking as an investor there? And from user experience, any user that has that was really using the deck so far, I got extremely good feedback from them. And but I'm not saying that we are good with the current status. We have so much more to do. Like, just to be clear, we have so much more to do. And sorry, it's hard for me to focus on one thing.
Just allow me to interrupt when it goes.
Yeah, please.
But no, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. So to reformulate, to be sure, everything that was announced is delivered.
Yeah.
So the community was expecting different things, like gasless transaction, concentrated liquidity, limit orders and perpetuals, and so forth, like in terms of innovation and features. Don't you think it would have been interesting maybe to postpone a little bit more the xExchange and to integrate maybe some of this innovation to release like a new product with new things, able to attract advanced users, or just to release UI UX redesign platforms with the risk of disappointing the community members?
The thing is, if I did the different way, the one you mentioned, like postponing stuff and so on, I would have been just making xExchange waste so much effort, so much time. Like, it would have been a very, very bad decision from my side. Like, once the development is started, we were already very far in the smart contract, in the front end, in the back end, and so on. It would have been a extremely bad decision if this would have been taken. And basically, there is a French expression. I don't know if you guys could help me translate it, but it's prendre son mal en patience. That's the thing. Like, maybe in English would be to take the necessary. I mean, I don't have the English translation for this, but basically to just be patient. We just.
Yes, I think we got it. So what about the features that was expecting by the community? Is it relevant expectation. Was it announced?
Yeah.
Like the gasless transaction was announced. I think, it's not, is it live?
So this is what I meant in the previous answer by saying that some of them are going to be released afterwards. But in March we announced the change of the plan in the roadmap, saying that some of the features. So first of all, I want to mention that some features planned for V3 3.2 have already been released in V 3.0. Such as price charts with 3 different versions of price charts, and including trading view candlestick price charts. So just saying this, and in March we announced that some of the things are going to come in V3.1, V3.2, and if there is any change of in the roadmap, we are going to do proper communication there. But just saying that what was announced as part of the V3.0 release has been delivered to my knowledge, and I think it's the case.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Tikapo, let's go.
Yeah,
I think you made a video about xExchange.
I don't make a video, but
No?
I was no, just addressing the point, but not make a video dedicated.
Oh, okay, maybe you will.
Yeah, maybe. But first, hey, guys. First of all, congratulations on the redesign. I know it's a hard part to dig down to refactor front-end application and component audit and smart contract and so on. Unfortunately, you also narrate about the communication made by the co-founder before the xExchange was a separate entity, talking about the first citizen and governance token, about the MEX. And I know you work on the tokenomic V2, and now the xExchange V3 is out. I think the focus on the redesign to onboard and facilitate the user experience into the DEX is a thing needed. So that has to be done. And right now it's done. That's great. But right now I think we must focus on utility about the MEX, because a lot of people have locked their token for 4 years, and right now they are reaching or waiting for some real utility. So we've seen some project from outside the ecosystem can apply for fund and
can you ask your question, Tikapo, please, because we are out of time. You know, it spent so much. So please, guys, just ask questions. If you want, you will be able to ask other questions after if the answer is not correct in your opinion, but please ask questions. Thank you very much.
I will go straight. Does the next focus of the xExchange V3 will be the utility of the MEX token?
Thanks, bro.
It will be about adding new features now that we have cleaned up the way and repair the broken things, let's say. It will be about adding new features. I'm not, to be frank, I'm not a pro of focusing too much on the token. I don't want to send the wrong signal also. I don't want to send the wrong signal saying that I don't care about the token, which is absolutely not the case. But what I want to say is that moving forward, all the features we are going to try to introduce will have a positive impact on MEX. But I don't want to put MEX as like the target for everything. The target for everything should be delivering the best DEX possible, and it ranges from user experience, that's the first thing, but from trading experience, and we can think about some particular trading features. Could be analytics also, could be anything related to helping the trading to be as good as possible. So just to make it clear, and I have a tendency to speak a lot, so I will stop here for this answer.
It's clear. I think because of course Tikapo's question is interesting, because many people from the community asked about the MEX, the XMEX, the fees, and so on. So yeah, I think MEX is not your main topic. This is what we.
So just to say that it is really top of my mind. It is really, but I don't want it to be like the only thing that is taken into account to take decisions.
Yeah, but the question I would say that to make it the only criteria, the only stuff. It was about what What do you plan around MEX and XMEX utilities? Well, that's the question behind it. So maybe you can answer this.
So, first, maybe there is a disclaimer I should give for this space, is that I'm not going to say anything concrete in this space regarding timelines, or next things we are going to do. Just because I learned my lesson the hard way, that if I say anything concrete about what is going to be done next,
I understand,
and concrete about the dates, I'm going to be killed by people.
No, we're just
I really want to.
There's nobody.
I know. There are some random comments I put on some places with like might and maybes and so on, and I got pinged a lot of time months after regarding those.
So nothing. You can say nothing about MEX and XMEX, or you can say something about it.
So what I can say is that basically, just maybe to give some background for people, like when I joined and started to lead, my plan at the beginning was not at all to go in those UI UX improvements. I come with my own personal list, and in that list there were nothing like this, nothing regarding UI and UX. It's just that I started to have discussion with users and so on, with my friends that were using the exchange and so on, and I realized that I'm not representative at all to the normal user that we target. And that, for me, I was part of a team making the exchange. I was part of a team making the white paper and so on. For me, everything was extremely easy, extremely clear and so on. And so when I came and started to lead, I had nothing regarding this on my list. I had only all the stuff that basically people mentioned, concentrated liquidity and so on. We were researching them even before I started to lead the exchange. Just to make it clear, even before I started to lead the exchange, we were already knowing how concentrated liquidity of many different protocols were working and so on. We were already knowing a lot of protocols you don't even know about. So just to say that that's the background I came into. It's just that I started the discussion when I started to lead xExchange, I started discussing with the users, the real people using the exchange, with the DeFi users and so on. And I saw so much confusion, so much people don't understand a lot of issues. I discovered a lot of issues that had to be fixed in xExchange and so on, but I thought, okay, before starting new things and adding even more troubles to xExchange, let's just do a cleanup.
It's clear.
I thought it would take 3 months. It took 1 year, which is a long time. We improved a lot, but just to give a context for people.
I think you did it. So that's why I'm saying, okay, I think it's clear. First, clean up, and after, new features, new MEX utilities and so forth. And it's smart. So when I interrupt, it's not because I disagree. Also, I just want to move on. So no problem.
Sure, I understand.
Davey Crypto just joined us. Hello, Davey. What's up? Davey, your mic is mute. Davey, one time.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, now we can. Yes, but it's not loud enough. Can you speak louder?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Can you try louder again?
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's
go
okay
go
now.
full crazy
Okay.
Italian, like you know.
Okay. I'll go quick. So
Let's go.
I think most of the investors, so MEX holders, but also the MultiversX holders, because xExchange is founded by the foundation, so we could consider xExchange investors also MultiversX investors, like connected, are like scared by the uncertainty over xExchange. And so I'd say mostly on the strategy that you're saying you're not going to talk, but let's say that now you made the UX much clearer, that probably xExchange is summarizing having UX depth, but UX depth, and you
Can you repeat, Davey, because we have some sound problem. Can you repeat?
So
because there was some sound problem.
Okay, so you solved UX depth that xExchange had, and so this is solved and had to be solved because xExchange was too complex. And now there will be a period where you'll have to increase the attractiveness of xExchange for normal users, for traders, increase the efficiency. So it will be something extremely difficult. So probably even more difficult than solving the UX. I'm not saying that this is not possible. Like, I'm giving trust to the team. The question that I'm asking is, let's say this will require some time.
No, unfortunately, Davey, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We can't hear you, well. You have network problem. So can you just, fix this? And in the meantime, I will give the mic to Philip. And of course, when it's okay, from your side, I will give you the mic directly so you can ask your question. Okay? Thank you very much. Philip, let's go.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Perfect. Hey, Lucas, nice having you there.
You have such a great voice, my brother. I just noticed.
I mean, I try my best.
Your sexy voice.
I need to speak slower. I mean, that's one of my weakness. I mean, that's a problem with French people. But that's another subject. Thanks a lot. Now, Lucas, welcome here, and thanks a lot for your work. I really like the UI and all the work that have been done. I can also vouch that the code on the back on the repository is also really clean. So, congrats for that. I mean, well done to everyone that participated into that. I will switch directly to the question and try to go a little technical because that's what I like. And let's talk about sovereign chain because that's a long time that we didn't discuss that on GM Web3. And my question will be direct regarding the intrinsic, the important features that your solution bring to the network, like the relay transaction. The automatic swap, like all these different elements. Is there already, or at least a forcing on how this will be integrated with sovereign chain to provide a direct out of the box solution for an exchange and for maybe a relay transaction and all these functionalities on top?
So for the moment, this is not something planned, but could be in the future. And just to make it clear, it's really a huge technical innovation, the sovereign chains. Just that it's not the immediate scope of improvements for xExchange at the moment, but things might change in the future also.
Okay, thanks. There's enough question. I will leave the mic. I think I come
Thank
back.
You. Joachim.
Hi, Lucas. Really thrilled to have you here, and thank you for all the questions you've answered. A few days ago, I can't find it right now, but there was an announcement as Sikapo was saying about.
Can you hear Joachim or?
Yes, we can hear him.
Oh no, always interrupting Anthony. But one of those kind of grants you've created is to build things on top of xExchange. So maybe could you give like a quick presentation about that part and like what you're hoping to see?
It is twofold. First part is liquidity grants or liquidity loans, more precisely. So the idea is for a project that wants to launch a token. For projects outside of MultiversX that want to list on xExchange, we will provide they can apply, and we can provide the liquidity on the MEX part. That's one thing. We can do something similar for projects already inside the MultiversX ecosystem. If they want to create a liquidity pool with MEX, we can provide part of the MEX liquidity also. So one part is MEX lending for liquidity, and second part is grants, development grants. So it could be anything, any contribution to xExchange, I would say. Generally speaking, so it could be directly to xExchange or could be something built on top of xExchange. But generally speaking, any contribution to xExchange might be eligible to this grant.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any like examples in mind of features you would like to see, or no, it's just like an open invitation?
It's an open invitation. We are already in discussion with a few projects there for things they are planning to build. And I don't want to give necessarily too precise things we expect from. Any idea from people is a good one to propose.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucas and Joachim. We will go for a new and other questions.
I think we can give another try to Davey.
If he asked for the mic.
Yeah.
Of
He's
course.
talking to me in DM, and he said
just
that he's hacked into his neighbor's internet and could work
okay.
this
No,
time.
normally it should be okay. Now let's wait for 1, 2, 3 seconds. But yes, of course. Davey, I gave you the mic. Normally, now you should be able to speak. Give it a try.
Okay, let me know if it works now.
Yeah,
This
now
is
it's
way better.
perfect.
It works?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go. Can you just
So,
start from the beginning because it was not
so how much
clear
did
the
you,
first
how much
time?
did you
Thank you.
hear the first time? Nothing?
It was not
You had-
clear. You dropped in and out, so go
Okay,
on,
okay,
start
okay.
from scratch and ask your question.
Okay, so I agree with like the current development of xExchange was somehow needed because xExchange had a huge UX debt, so the UX was made extremely difficult. So all the things that they did was probably needed. So unfortunately needed. So now that problem is solved. Now there will be probably an even bigger challenge because it's a challenge that even exchanges all over crypto are not really being like great at, which would be like making each exchange attractive for traders, for crypto traders, for non-crypto traders, and this will probably require a lot of iterations, lot of improvements, lot of different upgrades, lot of partnership, etc. This will require a lot of time. And so what I'm asking is, since we don't know MultiversX Foundation and also xExchange finances and runway, what is the actual like economical health of xExchange and the development team?
What is the actual economical, what, sorry? I'm not sure I've understood fully the
So
question.
let's say investors are being said that each exchange will require maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years to get to a final stage where it will be the best DEX and exchange in all of crypto. Okay, so our finances for each exchange. So does each exchange have a healthy runway to continue developing and doing partnership for years to come? Because at the moment, I guess each exchange is not profitable. Is it correct?
So that, honestly, that's one thing I cannot answer, because I have no view on, as mentioned, xExchange is not a standalone project, and it's just a part of MultiversX, and those things are not things known from my end, at least. So, yeah, I understand the question, but won't be able to provide an answer for this one, unfortunately.
Davey, do you have maybe another question? Maybe Lucas will be able to answer. Maybe can you give us your opinion about xExchange?
Maybe I could maybe add one more detail that might help for the answer, is that right now the MultiversX foundation is not generating any revenue from xExchange. Maybe it helps in the answering the question. Yeah, the MultiversX foundation has a supply of MEX that is part of the tokenomics initially. That is still part of the tokenomics. But apart from this, there is no revenue generated by xExchange that comes back to the foundation itself. So I don't know if it helps already on the discussion, but regarding the runway and so on, I personally have no information regarding this.
No, let's
Lucas,
go. Yes.
I have a follow-up question regarding, the big objective of making xExchange simple so that you can acquire more users. Decentralized finance is a complex topic, and trying to make something simple out of such a complex topic is really hard. And so, and I think we're still in the beginning of this whole journey, but now that you're in charge and that you revamped the full experience, what will be the user acquisition effort that you're going to put out there to bring new users to xExchange?
That's a very good question. And I think it's the most, I mean, I would not say to xExchange. I mean, I would say to xExchange, but also to MultiversX as a whole. That's a very good question because I think it's the most important one for MultiversX as a company. And, for xExchange also, of course, but as mentioned, xExchange is part of MultiversX and so on. So very good question. Yeah. You want to add something?
Yes,
No.
I kind of want to be contradictory on this because MultiversX is the blockchain ecosystem, but you know, there's the chicken and the egg problem. We're all talking when you're on the builder side, on the project side, you say the ecosystem has to attract more users so I can benefit and have more users on my platform. But as a community, we say we need more builders to attract more users. So
for sure,
this is the question that I asked to you. You know, as xExchange, you made a choice to revamp the product because you think it's going to help attract more users. If you say the users will come from the ecosystem, this is not an answer that I feel is good. So what is your strategy?
Oh, that's not what I said at all.
Okay.
What I mean is that we should have both in mind when thinking. Like, it's not only xExchange or it's not only MultiversX, it's both. It's the blockchain and the things building on top, and both should be part of the thought process here. So just maybe one thing is that I think Dave used the term tech debt. It's something I didn't want to use much, but basically what I mean is that V3 for me is just what V2 or what V1 had to be in the first place. We didn't try we just tried to see where we are, where we must be to start playing. And we did the work to go there. And so just to reset the whole context. So I'm not saying that the UX is going to be the thing attracting. What I'm saying is that the UX is at least the thing that is not going to make users leave xExchange or get lost in xExchange and so on. And we should start by fixing the sink, I'm not sure I'm using the correct English word, but what I mean is that the purpose was not with the UX to attract new users. It was just to repair the thing in order not to users to leave xExchange, to be extremely confused with xExchange and not to use it. Now that we have done a huge work on this, the purpose will be to go further, make xExchange better and better and better, such that we make it more appealing for people to trade on. So maybe to answer quickly here, I would say that generally speaking, we must provide the best trading experience possible. That's the only way for xExchange to attract more users. That you should be able to do on xExchange things you cannot do elsewhere. That's the only the quality of the experience you get on xExchange should be something that you should not get elsewhere. And that's the only thing we can attract people. You will only go to a new place if that new place is significantly better than the place you already have. So that's the only thing we should do, is to think about this and what we need to do on this one.
Guys,
sorry for the long answer.
Okay, brother. You know what, guys? I'm seeing that we are running, and so please, short questions and short answers, because we have so many topics we need to discuss, and I would be ashamed if some of them are not spoken out here. Davey, because Lucas mentioned you, maybe you want to answer shortly.
So no, it wasn't related. So if
okay, so go ask your question very short, and Lucas answers short, and so we can ask 10 more questions, please.
Okay, so if you had to look at xExchange now and decide on 3 topics in 3 technical things that could be improved on xExchange, what would those 3 things be?
Lucas, your mic is mute.
So, sorry. So I know that if I answer this question with 3 specific things that comes to my mind, I will be held responsible forever to deliver on them. So what I can say is that all the things that people, and including yourself, all the things that people have asked for are top of mind and considered. So it could range from limit orders, concentrated liquidity, swap fees being directed towards XMEX directly. I mean, all improvements that could make xExchange a better DEX or a better trading platform and reinforce the value of MEX are on the table. Yeah, just all the things that I've listed. I just don't want to make like a more concrete commitment on anything because it's very tough to develop anything. And yeah, it's a very tough topic. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Some in the community feel that the MEX locking and the energy systems are far too complex for new users. Shouldn't V3 have been an opportunity to clear the DEX, simplify and move forward rather than maintaining mechanics that are unknown on other DEX and that complicate the user experience and the new ones especially?
So first, it's not about, I mean, we wanted to simplify, to make it as simple as possible, but not too simple. What I mean is that it's not because we go in the road of simplifying that we must remove everything. We must keep the things that make sense, and we must remove the things that make not. I would say that the energy is a very common concept. It's just that it's not framed this way on other DEXs. But Ausha, for example, or Curve, or a lot of different DEXs have this concept. Of course, it's not the exact same, but it's the same kind of idea. So I would say it's a common feature in the field. And I really think that xExchange, MEX and XMEX and the energy are really important things that xExchange has. I'm not saying that we have the best form right now. We will continue to iterate and improve things here. But I'm just saying that the concept of energy and time lock is something very important, especially, for example, if you do governance votes. You really want people that vote to have a commitment to the exchange and not be able to buy tokens, vote, go out. You really want to get them committed to the project. And I think it's also a big part of the community. Like the reason why people are so concerned right now is because there are investors and they care a lot about xExchange, its future and so on. So it brings a lot of positive things to xExchange. Okay. But I would say that we are not in the final form and there are many things that can still be improved. Just to make it clear.
Quick question. Joachim, quick question. And Lucas, I hope you can stay with us for maybe 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure to answer all questions. I know it's very important and I really want to be available.
Again. So Tikapo, go ahead.
Yeah. Right. So, you said you want more people using the exchange with the better UI and better trading experience. That's okay. But, did you already start talking with the MultiversX team about, make more, easier the people to, listing token into the xExchange without doing a pull request on GitHub and made that maybe more decentralized way?
So first hand, I would say that it is listing tokens on xExchange is already fully decentralized. So at the smart contract level at least, and the only centralized part is doing a pull request on GitHub. Personally, I don't consider it to be a blocker there. It's really nothing to do. But maybe I'm wrong and mistaken on this one. I've never heard somebody complaining about the listing process on xExchange and it being too complex. I've heard a lot of people, a lot of projects asking to get out of experimental zone. This I heard a lot, people asking to go out, but nobody asking about making it simpler for listing tokens. So yeah, I would say if we get people complaining here, we might even simplify, but it's already decentralized. So
thank you, Joachim.
Yeah, the Tikabo's question is quite an interesting one because I've heard the same that like ideally the pull request should be fully automated and decentralized. But my main question was with the launch of the V3, as you said, it has taken a long time because there's been a lot of redoing, and there was some speculations, or maybe for some of us some hopes, that xExchange, now knowing the fact that there are several other exchanges, OneDex, Ausha, xExchange, etc., that are offering similar solutions, that xExchange would maybe take a back step and become an aggregator for all those solutions and become the one stop to have access to all the solutions. As we were talking about with perps, we have Ash perps, etc. Is that something that could be expected in the future, or for you, xExchange is its own product and therefore competes with other dexes?
So that's a very good question also, because we have got a lot of discussions internally regarding this. I would say that, for example, Ashpop has already an aggregator in the exchange. So just saying that the thing you are asking for is already available in Ashpop. And generally speaking, it's my personal view mostly here, but also we discussed this internally, and so I should be aligned with the rest of the team here. But generally speaking, I think it's good to have competition inside of an ecosystem. I would not even say it's good. I would say it's essential. Like basically, you don't want bad competition. Like what I mean is that we want mindful competition. Like we are not going to work on things where we believe that it's not adding much value to the ecosystem because it's already
concrete. If you agree, I mean, xExchange, eCompass built some features, okay, for months, and now we can find these features developed by you. So takes time, takes resources. The builders can be discouraged to build if the foundation is doing the same thing with more resources and more funds and so on. So the question of Joachim is it fair to have competition between the foundation and the builders? I mean, the competition is healthy between the builders, of course, but do you think the foundation should compete with their builders on their network? That's the question, in my opinion.
I think they should, but in a mindful way.
Can you elaborate?
Like what I mean is that, yeah, so it's too concise now. What I mean is that
you will.
So what I mean is that. So what I mean is that I think xExchange is not competing. First, we are next investors and so on, and we want to continue to build great stuff and make xExchange great for the investors in the project. We are absolutely not stopping any activity on xExchange at all. So just to make things clear. And second, I really think that it's good for the ecosystem to have competition. It just has to be done in a mindful way. Like we should not redo stuff because it is done elsewhere. We should try to find what value can xExchange bring to the ecosystem that is not properly delivered by other protocols, and deliver it. That's as simple as this. What I mean is that so said differently, I don't mind doing something again in xExchange if I believe that in xExchange it's going to be done in a different way or in a better way, in a way that will deliver more value to the people. I don't know if it's clear enough.
Yes, I don't know what will be the opinion of builders themselves, but it's an answer. Thank you very much for this. Let's go for new questions about. We spoke about the complexity. We spoke about the features that were expected by the community. We spoke about concentrated liquidity is something that is coming back again and again. And according to the community, it's very important to attract more liquidity. So you said previously that you were not able to speak about the upcoming features on the xExchange. Can you at least tell us that concentrated liquidity will be on xExchange someday? And if yes.
So maybe one. So I will again be very careful with the way I'm speaking because I really know what are the consequences if I get too concrete and so on. But what I can say is that a DEX has to be sustainable at some point. Like, and by sustainable I mean it has to be able to provide liquidity without paying the liquidity providers with external source of money, like token minting, and it has to come from the trading fees and so on. So just to give a long-term vision, a DEX can only be claimed to be successful if it is able to provide liquidity or provide the trading experience without paying from its own pocket, let's say, or own funding the liquidity. So in this regard, it means that we have to find a better way to provide liquidity such that we can reduce the liquidity incentives. But this is a very tricky subject. If we, for example, were to stop any liquidity mining right now, the liquidity will most likely drop significantly on xExchange, meaning that people will experience way more slippage, and so on. So all options regarding improving the liquidity efficiency are on the table. And we already did started research a long time ago, I would say, even before I started leading xExchange. So it's a topic we are very, very familiar to. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if it's precise enough. I don't want to get much more precise on this topic, but just saying that I hear everything on this topic and it's a very important topic. I cannot agree more.
Okay. Arno, let's go.
Yeah, Lucas, I'm very interested to have your take on something that I see as an issue today for the average xExchange user, especially for liquidity providers. The fact that you are only getting rewards that are valuable if you have a long-term commitment to the product. And it's very hard for a user to accept to be aligned only on the long term when there's nothing to get out for the short term, especially on the revenue end. What's your take on this? And you just said that you are thinking about multiple ways to improve this experience. Can you tell us, what's your diagnosis on this problem?
So I definitely think that some things might need to be reviewed on the commitment long-term commitment duration. That people have to do on xExchange and so on. Again, I don't want to be too specific in order not to be held responsible right now for what I'm saying. But I think that we need. I think that we need a commitment. I think that a commitment needs to be here. So first, you can get rewards without being committed. You will just get less rewards. And so now, if you want to get most rewards, I think it's important to have commitments from people that we are distributing rewards to people that will stay here and not dump them immediately after. So I think it's an important thing. And I think for a lot of different topics, it's the precise execution that is important, not like the theoretical idea, but how long am I committed? What are the percentages am I getting? And so on. I think we all agree on the fact that using liquidity mining is not a too bad solution to get liquidity. I don't think it's a long-term solution at all, but just saying I think it's a good one. But also, I think we all agree on the fact that having some kind of commitment is important in order for people to stay aligned with xExchange. And now the difficulty is in tweaking all the specific numbers and so on in order to get the best, let's say, the best deal for everybody.
Okay. And this, there's several ways to think about the commitment, but in my opinion, when you bring value to your users, you don't need to lock them up, to ask them to be locked for 4 years. So, and you're not responsible for this 4-year lock. But the
idea behind the lock is to make people wait until MEX has more utilities. Let's be clear. It's just a way to to force the people's patience.
It was also a way things were done. It was also a way things were done back then. I mean, those kind of design today are not as well received by the crypto community.
It was not well received at the beginning. people felt forced to lock at the moment. They did it because they did not have anything else to do with their mix. No, I'm not sure in 2 years things has changed, but it's another topic.
Maybe quickly on this one, like just saying that xExchange has really not, I would say the biggest innovation in this from xExchange point of view is not the concept of locking itself, because this is present in Curve, in Ausha for 4 years also in both protocols. It's really something common in the field. I'm not saying it's necessarily the best thing that could be done, but just saying that we have not like invented the locking and locking for that time. And I would say that commitment is really important for any project that wants to build a community, because you cannot build a strong community without commitment. And now we can discuss the duration, we can discuss all the details, but commitment in itself is very important. And governance, for example, a governance mechanism without long-term commitment is really, really bad. You will get people buying the token, voting for what they want, going out, and it will potentially have very nasty effects. While if you are committed to the project for 1, 2, 4 years, you will think very differently about the way you are going to vote.
Okay, but for now, there's nothing around governance on the V3 for the moment.
We didn't communicate on it, but basically we released the smart contract governance as part of V3, and we will try to leverage this tool moving forward. But
okay.
Yeah. That's what I can say on this subject.
Said enough. Thank you. Let's speak about the Discover program, because it was intended to replace meta bonding, because it's a criticized program, both by project because it's just a token donation for nothing in return, and for users because it's just crumbs swapped into EGLD immediately. So when I discovered xExchange, to be honest, I went to the new program, and I discovered that it was still meta bonding. So what the fuck?
As mentioned in March, we announced that the big V3 that we initially announced will be split in smaller releases, and this was planned as a subsequent release, V3.1. The thing is that a lot of time has passed in the meantime between now and between March and now, and the market conditions have changed a lot. A lot of projects have moved in or moved out of the ecosystem and so on. What I mean is that it is still on the table, and most of the development has been done on this front already. The question is that regarding we need to reassess the relevantness of this program in the current market and situation. So. Okay. Long story short, we have not forgotten about this. It was announced to be not part of the initial V3 release, but a subsequent release. It's still on the table, but we need to reassess like how relevant it is to do it, how it was designed right now and so on. So still on the table, and we are going to have a closer look on this and update people on the status.
Okay, so now, because we are out of time, we still have, let's say 15 minutes, no more. So I will ask the questions on the comment section. I will read them. Okay. I will not reformulate. I will just read them. And, you, Lucas, please, will take time to answer them, as, precisely and, accurately, as possible. So, first, do you really think farming a token locked for 4 years long-term solution is a long-term solution and will attract liquidity? Can we expect more utilities for MEX? We already spoke about this, but can you maybe make an answer for this?
Very, very clear. Yes, we should expect more utility for MEX. That's the goal. Just saying, it's not like the direct goal, but it's the indirect goal of xExchange, providing more utility for MEX. And again, on the locking, I still believe that locking commitment is important, and people can get rewards without committing at all. So yeah, okay. I guess it answers both questions.
Why is there no reinvest button or anymore?
This is let's say a miss of a new design. the front end and design team are working on it right now. I had a think today, and very soon we should have it back. It's not like intentional removal. It's more like a miss in the design.
Another question: when all fees rewards will be given in a MEX, and when a concentrated liquidity will happen on xExchange? We spoke a lot about concentrated liquidity, but what about the old fees given in MEX?
So, as mentioned, this is something on the table. I think posted on Twitter a few months ago asking people if they wanted this, because I think it's something better for xExchange. Of course, people want this. And for the when questions, I'm not going to unfortunately answer.
Okay. When we do the rewards claim now, some of the smaller positions produce rewards so small that they are swallowed up by the fees. Could we make it so that rewards worth less than $1 are not claimed, for example?
So you have an option. First, you have an option in your account in order to disable the claiming of those. I mean, the user can completely not claim those if they don't want, and they have an option in the account.
If you don't claim also for weeks, you lose part of it. Correct?
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, if the rewards you are eligible to are like 1 cent accumulated over 4 weeks, I mean, I don't see what we could do else. The only thing we could do else is that we are going like an idea is to change the mechanism and not have so many tokens to claim, like to the fees collector to only provide MEX and xMEX, and instead of adding 10 or 20 different tokens, just have 2, and it will completely change the topic here. So on the short term, you can just not claim them if you are not happy to pay to get them. And we are going to try to change the mechanism such that we don't have 20 tokens and just use everything to buy back MEX and distribute it to holders.
Thank you. Another question. Can we have an option to turn off the electrified lightning effect? Because it has no use and makes me think my monitor is faulty, or maybe a governance vote to remove it completely.
I think governance vote is a bit too much for this, honestly. We could add an option in xExchange to turn it off. That's fine. I mean, it should not be too big of a deal here.
Yeah, I just go to xExchange and you will see it's like a lightning on the background, and yeah,
on the homepage only.
Yeah. Okay, another one. Yeah, can you add? It's not about can you. Do you plan to add a multi-currency option, like with the, I don't know, euro and maybe the pound or so on?
Is there more details? Like what does, like he means on ramp and off ramp? What does the user mean?
Maybe in terms of display.
Or in terms like displaying the values in dollars, right? In euros or pounds or something like this. It's not something on the backlog for the moment, but we could add it to the backlog, yes.
If you want to go on different area, it will be necessary to allow people to display the value of their assets in different currencies. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, why did he reverse course and distribute LK Max instead of Max rewards? Is he, so the question is for you, Dirkly, is he aware that this is a real break on those who would like to put more money into the liquidity pool?
Honestly, I'm not sure to understand the question.
Why did you reverse course and distribute LK Max instead of Max?
I mean, so first, maybe it was something done before me, before I was, but when I joined, there was no LK Max anymore. So,
okay, so maybe the question is not relevant. Okay. What makes meta staking on xExchange a game changer for liquidity providers compared to standard staking options? Yeah, it's an interesting question. Imagine I am not used to MultiversX ecosystem and I arrive on xExchange and I see meta staking. These terms, as far as I know, is not used on the DeFi ecosystem. It's more like a MultiversX term. Correct, or am I wrong? I'm not a DeFi specialist.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so
correct.
So I will just rebound on the question. So what makes meta staking different than the classical staking, meaning locking token or smart contract to get rewards?
So first, we changed the name of this program to make it clearer about what is the value that it delivers.
So we split it now.
It is now split in two. So there are two parts of this. First one is staking, and second one is a dual farm. So basically, half the program is half the rewards, are used for the staking, and half the rewards are used for rewarding the liquidity providers. And now it is also boosted in V3. So the more energy you have, the more staking or dual farm rewards you will have. And how is it a game changer? I would just say that it's a product that is quite similar to what is on other dexes. I would not say it like it's a game changer at all. It came from the request from projects in order to be able to provide rewards for their liquidity providers and also for our community. And we built a product that satisfied this demand. And we try to provide more value to Mex by introducing boosted rewards in it. But that's the intention there.
When limit orders, when futures, when perpetuals, when DCA functions, when some concrete plans for max revival, when RWA trading. So a lot of whens. I know that you will not answer precisely to these questions, but yeah, you said previously on the interview that limit orders, liquidity, concentrated liquidity was on something that you were interested on. What about futures, DCA functions, and RWA trading? Is it are they features that someday you would be able to think about for xExchange?
So this I cannot answer. I'm very sorry because I know people want to know this answer, and but this I cannot answer. What I could say is that if I had to give my dream exchange, but again, it doesn't mean anything for xExchange. We are going to take it day by day and try to see what are the next priorities and so on, and we'll communicate accordingly. But if I had to talk about my dream future, my dream exchange, it will be a place I can come and trade basically anything. It could even also include NFTs. Again, not saying anything concrete on xExchange plans and so on, but just saying that anything ranging from trading spots, like trading directly the tokens, to trading futures, to trading perpetuals, to trading NFTs, to trading and so on, could be part of this dream exchange. But again, I'm not saying anything concrete for xExchange. I'm just saying the message I want to convey is that the things that people hope are the same than the team is hoping for xExchange, or hoping for the future. Like, we are aligned with the people regarding what we want, and now it's a matter of doing it and delivering, and we'll do the proper communication when times come.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Are there any upcoming changes planned to give users more control over XMEX lock periods without heavy penalties?
Not for the moment, but this is things that could be considered. Again, we are open to any feedback and any improvements that could be done. So if people have specific changes that they want, they can post on the Agora, and we go through all of them. I think I've answered to all posts there, Suggesting that if people have precise things they want, they can go on the Agora. Of course, they need to argue why they suggest this and why they think it is good. If the reasoning behind is I just don't want to pay fees, won't be like I would say proper reasoning. But we are open to any suggestion and any change in xExchange. Anything can be. I think that with V3 we proved that we are open to rethinking completely everything. So yeah, people can go there and choose.
A comment. It's not a question. It's more like a statement. I will read it like it's written. Personally, I find V3 unreadable, unnecessarily cumbersome in its presentation, and very unintuitive to use. The technical advances are laying the foundations for an interesting future, but as it stands, I can't see any added value in its use. Do you have anything to answer to is it a feedback that you have received a lot, or the majority of the feedback were more positive? Let's be sincere, because
and I will be sincere. Like most of like 100, I would say nearly % of people. So first, regarding this precise message, there is nothing really concrete in this message, and I tried whenever I saw such messages, and maybe I even replied to this person to push them to give concrete things, because I mean it doesn't say anything regarding V3. This message could have been written for V2 also, for V1, for any other exchange. So it doesn't say anything concrete for V3. What I can say is, given the feedback I received, I saw a lot of people not happy with the selection of things that have been included into V3. And this I can understand. I can understand that the people were expecting different things for V3, even though we properly set the expectations, I think. I can totally understand that people want different things and so on. But if we stick to just the user experience and people commenting the user experience, I really got like honestly 99% of people telling me that it's a huge improvement. Of course, people are not happy with some particular parts of the UI, and we have been already tweaking this at many different places, and we are going to continue to do this for the next few weeks, just to smooth V3, to remove any rough edge and so on. But from the feedback I received on the work that was delivered, I really received like mostly very positive feedback, and all the negative feedback was about the selection of things that were worked on and delivered in V3. People not being happy with this not being done, this not being done, this not being done, and so on. But yeah, and for this particular user, if he wants to directly reach me to on Telegram or on Twitter or anything, please write anything concrete about what he doesn't like in V3. I will be very happy to hear it and see how we can improve. It has been always the motto for xExchange to listen and improve.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that we cannot do everything at once, and we need to select things.
Thank you. I have one last question from the community. I will be glad to know from Lucas, are there plans to introduce cross-chain compatibility in V3, allowing for more diverse assets and liquidity?
So, as mentioned, a lot of things have been explored in xExchange. We even explored this. I have been in touch with teams in order to bring this kind of functionalities. But again, doesn't mean that it's going to come soon or anything. I'm not committing to anything. Just saying that I've not seen anything proposed in the community that we have not thought about already inside of xExchange. Any feature and so on have been even thought about before V3, I would say. Even before V2, sorry. So just saying that all this is in mind, and we consider everything that could make xExchange a better exchange, and the toughest part will be about prioritizing correctly. Yeah. But to answer the question concretely, yes, we have already thought about this. We won't be able to provide for the moment a concrete time or anything regarding this, but we have thought about this, and it has been considered and is still being considered.
Thank you.
Maybe we would also add that in xPortal there is already a cross-chain thing. So if there is a big need for this user right now, he could go on xPortal already and most probably be able to do it.
Okay. Arno?
No, it's fine.
If you want, I can take a few more minutes if there is a need. Guys, I'm very happy for you to give me the chance to answer questions and to push me through this. So.
Again, thank you very much, Lucas. No, Arno, actually you removed your hands, so it's okay. No, Lucas, it's okay. We asked all the questions from the community. Also, all the questions that I and Arno and the other speakers had in mind. Maybe to summarize, this V3 is mostly UI and UX focused. I know that you will not dare to give dates, but can you maybe tell us that it's my last question. Do you think xExchange will be able to compete with the other DEXs in 2025, which is on everybody's mind, the next bull run?
I mean, I will answer by I will say that what does it mean to compete? Like, we need to first define this in the sense that I might want to answer this question, but the thing is that it's so different, the definition that everybody could have for this one. Like, what does it mean to compete?
Well, on which level? Users and not to disappoint the current ones.
So if we are talking about attracting users, I would say that we are on a blockchain that is very favorable. I don't know if it's a term in English. Like a very favorable. I hope it's a word for people for great experience. Okay, let me rephrase to try to make something clear for people. So what I think is that we have the potential in xExchange to do such things because xExchange is first-hand built on MultiversX, which is, to my personal opinion, the best blockchain existing out there. So it's a first great start for xExchange to succeed, to be to my opinion, the best blockchain. And second, we have laid out big steps with V3. It's just that it's maybe not the step that all the people preferred, but there were the necessary steps in order to move forward. And the user experience, honestly, the user experience is already very competitive with any of the DEX, to my personal opinion. And by very competitive, I mean that it is outperforming the user experience of many DEXs out there. Now, if we are talking about the specific features that other DEX could provide, I agree that we lag behind on some aspects, but it's definitely something we are going to work on and try to catch up on. So I don't want to promise anything like xExchange is going to become the best DEX by 2025. But I really think that xExchange has its role to play, and time will tell, and I hope we'll go there.
Thank you very much, Lucas, for coming this morning and for accepting to listen to all the questions. Maybe not answering.
Jerem?
Yes, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, go.
I actually have a question that is a bit different.
Because Rock is waiting, and we need to close this interview. I already asked Rock to wait for 35 minutes. So if Rock agrees, I will let you the mic. Rock, do you have maybe 5 more minutes? Yes? Thanks a lot, brother. So Arno, okay, let's go. I give
Yes. Lucas, you are in a very challenging position, being at the helm of xExchange, because we are in the MultiversX ecosystem. We don't have, 50,000 people doing DeFi. So, I understand that the community feels that there is a lot of overlap between the different DEXs, etc. It's not easy, but of course you're also building infrastructure for the future, and DEXs are a key part of this. I'm interested to have your perspective on the future for decentralized exchanges. Have you ever thought about the evolution for those key infrastructures and the role they could have in 5 years in the blockchain ecosystem? And not speaking here about xExchange, but about the role they could play in the future. Like to give you an idea, we foresee that for lending protocols, one of the biggest opportunities is to be able to integrate real world assets into decentralized lending infrastructures, and this could completely 1000x the lending and borrowing space. Do you see similar opportunities for decentralized exchanges?
Yeah, well, I mean, 100%. Absolutely, in the sense that I would not even spend that much time or that much effort in that direction if I was not convinced of this. I really think that future will be decentralized, future will be on-chain, and I mean, if we talk about the things we can, like basically at the end of the day, what I want is to be able we try to keep it short also because I know that and that's a big question also to answer. So if I had to give a clear answer, I really think the future is decentralized. I would say that centralized exchanges are just like a temporary gateway for decentralization for blockchains, and that for example, if we look at Coinbase move with Base blockchain and so on, I think there is a clear signal that future is going to be decentralized, and all main centralized exchanges position themselves as decentralized actors. So I really think that the future is decentralized. I think that we are only at the very beginning of what DEXs can offer.
And do you have a concrete example of what you foresee the DEXs or DEX infrastructure?
So maybe
in the future?
Okay, so maybe I could, and again, absolutely not committing anything for xExchange, just sharing a vision.
100%.
Sure, but want to make it very clear. So I think the vision resides or lies into the word trade. That's my personal opinion. And I think here we are talking about trading, and trading is so much. Is so important in current life. So what I mean is that a marketplace like Amazon is trading. You trade an asset for money. And generally speaking, it's a kind of similar with NFTs, I would say, just that NFTs are on-chain assets, and on Amazon you don't buy on-chain stuff, you buy real life stuff. But what I mean is that the concept of trading is the core, and we are just scratching the surface of what we can do on-chain for trading. But trading is such a broad concept, and it could go from trading stuff on Amazon, like buying or selling stuff on Amazon, it's that wide of domain or field, I would say. And right now we are only talking about coins like tokens and so on, but it could include real world assets, NFTs, real life goods, anything basically that comes to trading. And I really think that this field is, I think we are far away from having this now, but just think that it's a big
thank you very much, Lucas and Arno, for this last question. So Lucas, thanks a lot for coming. I hope you will be back on GM Web3 MultiversX in the upcoming maybe weeks or months when there is something new on xExchange. Good luck for the rest, and take care.
Thank you. And maybe just wanted to thank you very much, Jeremy, for your patience. I very much appreciate the opportunity you gave me today to speak. And just saying that I see every message, every Twitter post and so on posted by people. I read them all. Don't necessarily reply to all of them because it's a lot of mental overhead to do so, and we have many stuff to do. But just reading everything, and we are really hands-on trying to provide the best future possible for xExchange. So yeah, just want to say this, and thank you again for the opportunity, Jeremy, that you gave me to answer all questions. And very last thing, thank you also for asking all the tough questions, like all the tough questions that are not necessarily the easiest one to answer on, because the last thing I want is to remove myself from my responsibility to communicate with the community and answer those questions. So I'm very grateful that you posted all of them. And yeah, wish you a great day to you all, and we'll work as hard as possible to make xExchange the best possible text.
That's what we do on the GM Web3, asking a tough question and trying to have precise answers. And I know that you did your best to do it. Thank you.
And sorry for me taking a lot of time to answer sometimes.
No, it's okay. It's your first. Next time you will be better. Thanks a lot, Lucas.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. So before we move on, Rock's NFT Chronicles, I would like to thank our today's sponsor on GM Web3 MultiversX. It's Burnify, the first token burning platform on MultiversX, and I will put the link on the comment section so you can see what they do. And I remember that we received them last week on GM Web3, and they explained what they do. It's a very, very interesting to reduce the supply of tokens on MultiversX. And in bear market, it's so important to reduce supply, especially when tokenomics are busted. So Rock, what's up?
Yo, finally.
I'm so sorry. I know you've been waiting for like almost 45 hours.
Yeah, it's not like I'm busy or anything, but yeah, no worries everyone.
I'm really sorry, but I know you understand.
Yeah, no problem. First and foremost,
yes,
Ooga Booga to the whole crew here.
Yeah,
GRM, Arno, Philippe, Joaquin, and Lucas that has already left, and he didn't even hear me say hi to him. Okay, anyway.
I think he was very, very busy.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure it's not personal.
Anyway.
I'm sure. I hope so.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me. And yeah, excited to share some updates with you guys. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation with Lucas, learned something new there as well.
Are you a DeFi user yourself?
I do use DeFi. However, I don't interact with it on a daily. I kind of put my trust into Hatem, to be honest. So that's it's working for me. So I don't use it on a daily. Like I don't, do extra, let's say, stuff with it.
Okay. Just before we start, I forgot to mention that Burnify is offering 2 times $25 to one of you, to 2 of you. So basically you just need to quote tweet the link of the Twitter space to enter this giveaway. So you have $25 in HTM, you have $25 in BHAT token, and you have 2 times $25 in BFY token. So it's $100 to win during this Twitter space. All you have to do is to quote tweet the Twitter space. So do it now or never. Sorry. So Rock, first of all, can you tell us about the banning of Booga's X account? What happened? How did you learn? And do you know why? And what did you do to try to fix this? And so on. So tell us. We followed this story on X, and we were so unhappy and disappointed for you, brother.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was a major hit. It's kind of like, imagine you're running and you can already see like a checkpoint that, it's close, it's on the horizon, and then it just gets run over by a car, so it kind of felt like that. What happened? I guess it's just X being X. We probably sent out too many DMs and got triggered. That was probably the reason for the suspension of the account. We sent out probably like 60 appeals, and we did not even receive 1 reply from X. So that just kind of shows you the support that they've got. There could be more, let's say reasons, but we don't know anything because they did not get back to us. Like all of our posts and everything, we engage with everyone. We were engaging with everyone from the main account to all replies. So I've heard of accounts getting kind of treated as a bot because of that before. So we are going to change the game a little bit, and we've introduced a new account. It's called Buga's Intern. Let's hope it lasts. The new intern is fully on the team now. So we'll be utilizing him. And it's been a long time. We've not heard even once. And hopefully eventually we'll get that account back, and then we can kind of grow the second account anyway and turn the old one into something else, into like the main project account.
It's an interesting discussion, even above of Buga's example, and it's the major role of X in Web3 community involvement, engagement, and so on. Do you regret to have invest so much on X and maybe not that much on other social networks like Telegram or Discord or so on, or actually it was not possible because when the X account is banned, well, you're dead. And you know what? I thought about myself. Imagine my X account was banned. I would lose like so much thing, like my community, my awareness, my everything. So I should start from not maybe from scratch because people knows me a little here, but anyway, it would be a critical hit for my job, my activities, and so on. So what do you think about the major role of X?
I don't regret anything. We learn, we adapt, we grow, and we managed to get a lot of the accounts, the names scraped from the likes from the posts. By the way, I found a cool way of getting all of your followers into a nice list. So you can DM anybody that wants to DM me afterwards to learn how to do that. Then at least you have a nice file with all of your followers, which you can try to get back over time afterwards. We've got like 3,000 plus handles that we'll be reaching out via DM replies to the posts, etc. So, and people already know us, so it's going to be much faster to regain that. At the same time, we've got the cave, which we are utilizing now as a staging platform for launching the new account on coming Monday. So our idea going forward is to have so many accounts on X that basically, even if we lose one, it will not affect us, and we will not be using the main account anymore for any replies and any DMs. So I would definitely recommend having like a burner account, second account for any DMs, etc. We wanted to go all in, and we still want to go all in on X because we see the major advantages of the platform and how it can grow exponentially in the next years.
Okay,
it's fun because one of the...
Oh, go ahead, Arno.
One of the... Sorry, yeah. It's fun because one of the things, one of the reasons why Elon Musk is saying that we need to bring life, to make life interplanetary, is because if life is only on Earth, if something catastrophic happens, it's the end of life. So we need to mitigate this risk by bringing life on another planet. It's exactly the same conversation, but it's a bit... It sounds terrible to me that, you've been using too much this platform, and you got banned because you were not a super user, you were a hyper user. And the fact that the platform is not able to make the difference between a bot and a hyper user, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So
yes, but it's important to notice that sending DM is something that you should only use for people from people that accept to be contacted in DM. And so this is an advice for every project. Don't send too many DMs to people that did not interact with you on DM first, because it's seen as advertising. And this is something that socials don't want to, because it's not pleasant for users to receive DMs from projects.
No. The reason is that they prefer you to pay so that you can reach to people through publicity.
No, because they paid
through the platform.
Bugas paid. They were premium. So it's not about this.
Yeah.
They paid, and still.
When you reach out to thousands of people in DMs, you're basically using the audience you're using this feature to grow your audience and to develop your business.
But this is not
different way.
This is not a good thing. I mean, you know, when you receive, I think you're like me, you receive, messages from people every day on your DM, people that you don't know, and it's not pleasant. So it's normal that the social,
but just to jump in here, you know, like all of our DMs were targeted DMs. So we weren't just sending DMs to random people. We were only DMing people that actually were interested in new NFT projects. So that's the first. So like, and everybody that received our DM were like genuinely happy, and like our DMs were well received, you know, and the way we were sending them.
Algorithm. If they did not
but at the end of the day, there's nothing in the rules of X that says that you can't send DMs. Like when we've read the rules, you know, far and wide, and there's nothing that says that you can't send, you know, you can send this much DMs or whatever. If someone has their DMs open for everybody, for people that are not their followers, they're basically saying that they are accepting to receive DMs. So therefore, it shouldn't, you know, trigger.
It's like you have your number, your phone number on the book, and people are calling you to sell their stuff, and they can say, "I found your number on the internet." Yeah, but I did not accept anyone to use it. So maybe X has the same position as
there's different ways to look at it, but you know, at the end of the day, whatever, if you agree to it or not, you would expect some kind of warning from X, you know, at least one warning.
I agree on this.
One warning, like, okay, guys, we noticed a high activity in DMs from you guys. Please stop it, or you will get suspended.
About this.
Or at least one reply.
You're right. And I was banned once, but temporarily. It was not definitive because I made a bad joke, on the post, and, X decided to ban me for, I think it was 24 hours, or maybe, I don't know if it's 24, a few days. I had the opportunity to get my account back. But, it was like a warn. So you did not have any warrant. So this, I agree 100% about this. Joachim, and after we'll speak about, the next steps of Bugas, because, I have questions about this. Joachim.
Yeah. Hey, Rock. Cool to have you here. And, I've been following from, the sidelines and try to give a bit of love to free Bugas. But on the, talking about, like, I feel like we all talk about decentralization, governance, etc. And yet we all gather here on this fucking platform controlled by one lunatic. I'm going to get banned. And we, like, have you looked into solutions like Forecaster, etc.? Like, I'm not saying as like your main account, but like we see quite a lot of projects from other chains looking at, building a presence on Web3 socials. Is that something you plan to do too?
Yeah, so, I mean, we're planning a lot of things. However, we first need to reach our first milestone. So we need to do the pre-sale and the actual mint. And then we want to grow on other platforms, right? So then we will not be so affected. And plus, we want to include a lot of the, let's say, traffic onto our website and onto a newsletter, you know, so like there's a lot of different ways of collecting data and, you know, the community details. However, at this moment in time, it's, you know, X is where it's at, you know, like if you want to have the slightest chances of minting out, etc., you need to be present on X. So we're, you know, putting all focus here. And, you know, we'll get it back. It's just gonna delay us slightly. So, but lovely to hear from you, Joachim, and thank you for the question.
It was my question about the delay. How many weeks or month maybe do you plan to delay after this ban?
So our plan at the moment is like on Monday we're launching the new account, the first post. We will be doing at least one, maximum to 2 posts per day, high quality, long form with animation or illustration for the next month. And then we'll see how fast the account grows. But like you'll expect to see Bugas on the timeline every day, at least twice a day. Like plenty of the people have not seen, most of our posts. Maybe they saw like 10% or something. So now, it will be only posts from the main account. So if you put notifications on for that, you will only see the main high quality posts, none of the replies, none of anything else. So that's going to be pretty cool. And, we'll be flooding the timeline with amazing content from Bugas and, just doing it with like a narrator style, like, behind the scenes kind of aspect. So there will be added features to it. Plus there will be at least one organic new post per week. So it all kind of depends on how fast the account grows, but our plan is to kind of remain in jail until we surpass the 5,400 followers we had, or until we get the account back. And then, we'll see how it goes, how fast the account grows, because we need to have a big audience in order to...
What's the milestone, what's the target in terms of followers?
So it will be cool to get the 5,000. That was our target originally as well, for 5,000, minimum 5,000 for the pre-sale, of 500. Initially that was the plan. However, things can change and we can adapt as well. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the sentiment around NFTs changes a bit as well. There's a very cool aspect around Web3 IP at the moment as well, I'm super bullish about Web3 IP, and I'll tell you a little bit about the latest news from that kind of part of NFTs. So excited to go through that. But if you have any more questions with regards to Bugas, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Actually I don't, and I don't see any hand raised. So let's go on the NFT situation. Let's speak maybe about first about the MultiversX NFT ecosystem. We had an NFT season on 2022 and beginning of 2023 with the Coco project. And now the volume are very low. There are no new project at all, and except Bugas, I'm not sure people are expecting anything from NFT project at the moment. Do you share this overview or not? And are you following any project on MultiversX previous project or new project that maybe I'm not aware of?
Yeah, to be honest, I've not seen anything, let's say, new. I don't know. There was Materia Prima, but there's not much in the pipeline for MultiversX NFTs, to my knowledge, except for the existing projects that have a lot of potential. I guess there's a few projects that I see could do well, but it's all about kind of going past the current audience and reaching, let's say, crypto Twitter as a whole, So it's getting out of your bubble and going out there into the world. And I guess it's the whole mindset needs to be shifted for all of the community at MultiversX. People will not come. We need to go to them. We need to, see what's out there as well. Otherwise, we're just interacting with each other and nobody actually sees us, right? So that's the main thing, reaching outside the lines and going out there. But yeah, I've not seen anything else coming up. I apologize if I should have. However, I've not seen anything else except for Bugas lately, to be honest.
Yeah, Joachim, go ahead.
This is going to be quite, I won't say a trick question, but we've had, since the launch, as GM was explaining, the NFT bull run, I think one of the first ones, that existed and that I minted. Well, didn't mint. I just sent money to a wallet. Don't do that, hoping to get the EAPs back, which I did, but don't do that. That was because there was no smart contracts for minting that were ready then. So don't do that today. But anyway, EAPs were kind of like the figure of MultiversX when it came to NFTs. Then for a period, we were debating if Coco would become the how do you call it? Blue something. Of
Blue chip.
Blue chip. Thank you, Jesus. The blue chip of MVX. Are you planning on making Burgess the flagship of MVX?
You know, we're planning to get a lot of people involved. We're planning to reach crypto Twitter as a whole. We're planning to make the chain irrelevant. So making the project so good that people will come regardless if they're on the chain or not. So like that was our main mission. Whatever else happens. However, you know, becoming the face of MultiversX would be cool. But at the same time, that is not our goal. Our goal is to actually reach people from the outside and get people hyped and interested in the brand and just wanting to be a part of it, you know. So if we manage that, then the rest will follow. But again, that is not the intent, you know. I don't need to prove anything or whatever. I just want Bugas to succeed, and for that to happen, I need to gather enough attention from outside of the chain. There's simply not enough people here. Otherwise, you know, we'd probably mint out, but then over time that would die out, you know.
Are you helped in any ways by the foundation?
Yeah, so by the foundation, are we helped? Currently not. I mean, we're in discussions with the MultiversX team. We have a group chat on Telegram, but like
we all have group chats with the MultiversX.
Yeah, but like the biggest problem is that they don't respond fast enough. They don't act fast enough, and you know, it's a bit.
What would you need concretely? Would be tech resources, would be funds, would be network.
Funds.
What would you need?
I need incentives for people to come to MultiversX. That's what I need. We had a cool idea to create Booga boxes with Xportal, where you'd have, you know, Booga boxes landing in your wallets. We made that proposal to Xportal, but we've still not heard from them. They just said that the first reaction was good and they were happy about it, but they don't have the time. That's the problem.
When we think about Solana and the way that the foundation is working with Phantom, they are doing great stuff all together. Phantom is building, and the Solana fund is supporting and sometimes granting and funding and promoting and so forth. So yeah, I think NFT can be a very good way to attract people, but the foundation must support. And if you have any ideas with Xportal, I'm 100% sure they should absolutely support you.
You know, they should, but they're currently not replying. So, you know,
it's clear.
I would have expected some assistance with the matter on the account, but okay, fair enough. But you know, we kind of lost our leverage slightly, so we need to regain our leverage in order for them to actually do something for us. But it's messed up. Like the biggest issue I see as well, that there's no one person at MultiversX that is designated towards NFTs. Like there's no one like that. There's one person for gaming. There's another person for other stuff, whatever, but there's none designated for NFTs solely, which is a shame.
It's interesting.
If I can just jump in on the Xportal thing, I'll be quite quick. It was interesting to see, as we know, the season 1 ended a few months back, and the season 2 launched, and they did like those prizes, you know, depending on your streak, etc., you would get different benefits. And one of them was an airdrop of that platform that allows you to create a meme coin in like a few clicks. And as far as I'm aware, because I speak with quite a lot of projects daily, not a single one got contacted at the start of that season and just like, would you want to be part of the rewards we get through daily streaks, etc. It was just, MemversX, that was there, sticking out a bit like a sore thumb, to be honest, because it was the only project. And as you say, like it feels like there is a lack of communication and cooperation between the tool of adoption, which is Exportal, and projects that could bring more adoption to MultiversX in general.
Yeah, that is true. So hopefully that will change at some point. You know, we'll be pushing for it. Regardless of what assistance we get, I still think we have a chance. You know, like, it's very tempting to go elsewhere. I'm not gonna lie. It's very tempting because, a lot of other projects offer so much assistance, help, and all sorts of things, you know, so it is what it is. However,
have you thought about threatening or are you trying to leverage no, you know what, it's not that ironical as maybe people can think. I mean, I'm speaking with many projects as a consultant on MultiversX and elsewhere, and trust me, one of the first thing they are thinking after they built their value proposition is to choose which blockchain will be the best for them. So of course there are some technical criteria, of course, but of course there is one, it's the support, the funding, and so forth. And so most of them are applying every grant program from every blockchain. Okay, they apply to everyone, to all of them. Sorry, and they are waiting for answers. And the most generous in terms of granting, but not only in terms of supporting network relation and so forth. And this is the way they choose their blockchain. So my question is, because you made like a teasing on X, which blockchain we will choose, Solana, Ethereum, or MultiversX? And at the end of the teasing, you chose MultiversX. I would have bet. But anyway, did you think about challenging this more, and maybe to ask for grants from Solana or Ethereum, or maybe L2 or so forth, maybe to launch the project in a better situation?
You know, like, we had a few offers that came to us by themselves without us actually asking in the early days. So like we had some offers to go elsewhere. You know, we want to build Bugas for the long run, so hence we chose MultiversX because we believe in it. This is home. You know, like we'll see what happens. You know, like I'm hoping that we'll have some support from MultiversX at the end of the day. You know, like I don't want to push them just yet, but at the right moment in time, obviously I'm going to say like, guys, come on, wake up. We have a chance of onboarding so and so many people, but I need to have that leverage. You know, once we do the Buga trials and once I can, you know, prove that, look, we have, let's say, so many applicants, so many people from outside of the chain, because it will be clear if someone is new or not, you know, then we will have more leverage, and it will kind of be like an MVP that will be able to show, look guys, this is what we have. This is what we can bring. If you help us, we can scale this. We can really scale this and, you know, like get 10 times, 100 times more over time, you know? So it's, until we have it, it's kind of like, you know, I can say what I want to say, but it's not gonna mean anything. And I know MultiversX, they like to do things like in a calculated way. So you need to show like numbers and stuff like that to them.
Depends. They almost launched X World. Anyway,
that is
Joachim.
True. That is true. Never happened though.
Kidding.
Yeah, no, I think like as you were describing, like as you say, like there'll be more strength to the argument, and like as you said, like get things to move when you've made your marks and as you said, showed numbers. But isn't that too late? Haven't they already failed? If you need to go that far before you're actually able to start a discussion with them, because for every project that succeeds, there's plenty that fail, and maybe the success rate would be higher if they were, more followed and supported.
Yeah, I mean, that is 100% true. And again, we are in discussions with them. They didn't say no. They said initially, yes, they're interested in supporting. I just feel like they have too much on their plate and there's no designated person for this, which is the main issue. So, I agree with you. Probably more projects would have a higher chance if they got the right support, be it financial, be it just like guidance as well. Because a lot of projects, let's say, they might have a cool product, but they don't exactly know how to sell it, how to market it, who to go to, etc. So that kind of information, that kind of connections can go a long way. So if a platform like MultiversX has that, then it's a strong appeal to new startups that don't necessarily have to know how to do every single step of the way. So they get assistance for different things and, VC backing, et cetera. So yes, I agree with you. It would be superb. And hopefully we will have that day, sometime in the future.
Anyway, Rock, there is one thing that you can be sure about is you can count on the community support. 100%, because we've known you for years on MultiversX, first as NFT OG, as member of the docs, but also for all that you've done for many builders, KOLs, and so forth. So there's something that is assured on MultiversX is that you can count on us to try and to push as much as possible your project. And we're not expecting some return on investment or anything. You know what? We just want to have fun. We just want to have honest people building innovative things and to onboard more people on MultiversX. Of course, if we can take profit, we will, even though I never take profit from my NFTs, but it's something else. But anyway, you can count on us, and I hope MultiversX will support you, and I will, and I'm not the only one, of course, do my best to support you in that way. Rock, now, can we speak about let's go somewhere else. Let's leave MultiversX for a second. What's new on NFT ecosystem? We've seen that the volumes are very low everywhere. What are you seeing at the moment? NFTs, are they dead? I'm speaking about PFPs. But you said previously that IPs, the IP topic was bullish at the moment. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. Before I go into Web3 IP, just wanted to go briefly on DeGods and then what they just announced. So then gradually I'll go through all of the different topics. Yeah, so I just pinned on the Jumbotron the latest post, well, not the latest, the latest information from DeGods anyway. So they're going into goes for 4. You can burn your DeGod. And basically they are scrapping Utes. So Utes are now called fuzzy DeGods, and they will probably want to get rid of this collection over in time. They've not said it directly. However, you can't swap it. You can't swap your DeGod for a DeGod currency, let's say token. However, you can only burn it, right? And with the DeGods, you can swap one DeGod for 550k DeGod token, and then you can swap it back at a certain time as well. However, with the Utes, they will be burnt and forever gone. So imagine you bought a number one Ute. Imagine you bought a number one Ute 10 days ago for $200,000.
Can you be because I own a Ute.
Okay? You own a Ute. Okay.
Yes, I do. And I bought it for $1,030 and $300.
Okay, so you're breaking even at the moment. For one Ute, you can get around that currently. So the current market cap is $8 million for the DeGod token.
So I can burn my Ute to get some token?
Yeah, so you can burn your Ute for 120k DeGod token. and that will be, I think, around $1,200 that you will get. So you're more or less breaking even. But someone that bought a Ute 10 days ago for 200,000 is pretty in the red.
Thank you very much for this precision. Let's move to maybe a more interesting topic.
Yeah, definitely.
What does it say? Because DeGods is one of the biggest NFT projects. What does it say to the NFT ecosystem?
It doesn't say anything, to be honest, because Frank DeGods has called the bottom quite a few times now. He left Solana just before Solana started pumping. He left ETH just before ETH started pumping. He went to Polkadot. That didn't work out, so he called a few bottoms. He's not perfect. So who knows? Maybe he's called the bottom again with this move. He's going meme coins, right? So he wants to turn DeGod into a meme coin. Take away, in my opinion, the most valuable thing that they had was the DE brand. They could have applied the DE brand to basically anything and roll with that, DGolf, the whatever, but they didn't want to do that. So he went full meme coin. Who will, kind of go in that movement? I'm not sure. We can wait and see how it plays out. However, I don't think this is the end.
Is it too late for you? No, it's just your opinion. It's not, of course, financial advice. But do you think this move is a bit late? Because
I think it's late. I think it's much too late. If he did this move 1 year ago or half year ago, this would be the best move they could have done. Because when you look at it in a different way, it's a great for DeGods, DeGod Labs, right? Because they get a lot of influx of new cash flowing in because they're selling some of the supply, right? So you can buy DeGod's token. They're selling 3% of the total market cap. And one person can buy 33.3 worth of Solana of the token. So, they're getting a lot of money coming in, which, they were probably lacking. So it's great for them. However, for the holders, for the people that actually believed they were buying digital collectibles, rare items, whatever, it kind of sucks because it takes away from that, So if he did it earlier, I think it would have been a good move. Now, hard to say, 100%, I think Frank will never give up. But there's also, which is quite sad, there's I don't know if this is a joke or not, but they're collecting signatures for a lawsuit to go against Frank DeGods, for, basically the fact that people lost a lot of money based on different directions of the project, of the brand that was going to happen, and because of him changing so many times, right? So it's we'll see how it ends up. It could be the best move, it could be the worst move, but I think it's kind of a go big or go home move. Okay. And I guess I can switch over to the other
maybe
other
Joachim
brands.
has a question.
Okay, we can.
Joachim.
Yeah, it was a quick question about DeGods. So you're saying basically because there was a point of time where they were focusing a lot on trading. Basically, they did their own alpha channel of trading meme coins. What you're saying is they are actually becoming one, and that's
100%.
And that's where I fail to understand. The whole point of a meme coin, isn't it the lack of utility and the growth rat part of it? While they've already have a brand identity and everything that they kind of as you said, not throwing in the bin, but damaging indirectly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going the easiest route, they could have. I believe it's, easy money for them. They don't have to work hard on it. They don't have to build out a brand. They don't have to do anything else, so later on, they can just say that the token failed, the meme coin token failed, and move on to the next, So, when you look at the past tweets as well from Frank DeGods, he was saying, okay, send it to 0, don't buy a DeGod, let's let it go lower, price doesn't matter, we're not in it for the price, whatever, so he was, I don't know if he was told by lawyers, whatever, what to write, but it all kind of looks that way. But yeah, again, we don't know how it's gonna end up. They had a dope brand, and I love the branding. I love the E brand. Massive potential in my opinion, but what they do with it, that's on them, so yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead, Rock.
Yeah, so with regards to other news, because like DeGods is separate, Web3 IP brands are really heating up. There has been some massive announcements, like in the span of 1 week. There was an announcement from Klenosaurus announcing a partnership with Gameloft. I don't know how many of you guys play mobile games, but if you do, I'm sure that you've played at least one of their games. They are the biggest mobile gaming project or company in the world at the moment. So that is massive news for Klenosaurus and for their reach, for the brand awareness that they can gain for that. So that's massive. Then Doodles TV, they were actually recently on a Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF premiere for the Doodlesville and Doodleverse, which is a collaboration with Pharrell Williams, and they just launched their Doodles TV as well. So they're pushing that. They have a lot of cool already videos out, music videos out with a lot of, let's say, artists. So they're breaching the walls into the Web 2 and, creating dope stuff that people resonate with. And, they don't even know that they're interacting with a Web 3 brand, right? So that's what it's all about. Then you have Azuki with anime.com. So they bought anime.com and they're trying to revolutionize it by creating a new way of creating anime and interacting with anime through blockchain as well. And it's done in a way that people don't know that they're actually interacting with blockchain, which is super cool. And it's a great way to onboard, millions of people. I think I don't know how many people are interested in anime at the moment. I can't remember the figures now, but it's doubling every year or every 2 years. It's doubling basically the number. So it's a massive market and a great way to, increase brand awareness and get people on board, into Web3. So yeah, that's super cool. And again, Pudgy Penguins, they are taking over Asia by storm. All of Asia is talking about Pudgy Penguins and they're everywhere. So you can see that the projects which have put a lot of effort into the IP itself and are growing through that channels, they're succeeding really well. Let's say, maybe they're not making a lot of money as a business at this moment in time, but they're laying the foundations to then further grow out the products and grow out the brand and, selling it. So super bullish on that. And as well, the space is very super bullish about it. And as soon as NFTs heat up again, I feel like those projects are going to lift off. However, a lot of the NFTs were overpriced, and let's not lie to ourselves, like paying 100,000 or whatever for an NFT is ridiculous. And yet it's still happening, right? So I guess it all depends on what someone is willing to pay for it. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, super bullish on Web3 IP. That's definite. And that should allow us with our plans to kind of get enough attention as well, especially that it's heating up now. So hopefully we will kind of align with the current meta of Web3 IP and we will be like in the perfect moment, perfect time, place, scenario. So let's hope that kind of plays out. And if it plays out, it's good for us and it's good for MultiversX. So let's all cheer to that.
Thank you very much for this overview. It's clear and very fascinating. My last question will be about your inspiration. You mentioned a few projects here. What's the best, your biggest inspiration when you're building a Bugaz? Maybe if you had to choose maybe 2 projects and why?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're focusing on the biggest brands, so we don't have 1 or 2 in particular that we love the most. Like the ones I mentioned, Doodles, Klenos, Pudgies, and Azuki are probably the top 4 that we look at how they're doing their community, how they're doing their branding, how they're doing, X, how they're growing out the business, which direction they're going, how they're doing their Instagram reels and YouTube and all of that. So we're taking inspiration from those 4 projects, let's say the most, as we see a lot of synergy with them. And it's, they're kind of breaking the barriers.
Are you in touch with them in any way?
Yeah, so we had contact with Klenos, with some of the team members. However, I met Lucanets at NFT NYC. I shook his hand. He got a Booga pin. It was on TV. I don't know if anyone noticed that or not. Yeah, and he follows me, but I tried DMing him once. He didn't reply, so I don't want to spam him. Maybe when I meet him at the next event, I'll talk to him more. However, I don't have any direct contact with Doodles nor Azuki. So, but yeah, over time, when we're an emerging brand, we have so much to prove. Once we've actually accomplished something, it will be much easier to reach some of the people. But yeah, the Kleno team has been very, very dope. So I've spoken to quite a few of them in DMs, and they're really, really cool guys. And they're super laser focused. Like they're like super bullish on Klenos, by the way. If anybody wants to invest in Klenos, this is financial advice. Buy some Klenos.
I need to moderate what he just said. It's not financial
advice. I'm kidding. Yeah.
I know, bro. Last but not least, and I will be completely honest with you. I love you. I love Boogas, the community, the brand, the art is cool too. But to be honest, if someone asks me, what is Booga about? What's the tech? What's the product? What's the value proposition? Except, of course, the federating a community around PFP art and so on, I wouldn't be able to answer. Did you already announce what you plan to build, or you keep it secret for the moment?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I would encourage that person to read the light paper. Not sure if you read the light paper, and there was some stuff on the nearest, let's say, plans in there. It's for us, it's all about growing the brand, because once you grow the brand, once you grow brand awareness through the characters, then it gains in value, because you can, all of the other products that you launch, they are automatically far more, let's say, because of the branding. Yeah, sorry.
So you say you will, so you just,
So we've not announced the products just yet.
Okay.
It will come.
There will be like merch or maybe a digital, asset. It will
be dope stuff. So that's all I can say at the moment. Okay. But it's all about branding, and it's all about growing that brand awareness currently. So that is our ultimate goal for the first, let's say, milestones, is to create an audience on all of the socials, on Web2 socials, and to grow out the brand. And then through that audience, through those fans of the brand, of the characters, of the Boogas, the prehistoric characters that end up in modern day times, through creating a let's say, relatable character and story, and we can reach the people, and through that we'll be able to sell the products and sell the brand. So that's the name of the game. So let's hope it works out the way we want it to.
Thank you very much, Rock.
But that's super, super valuable. Like the most value you have is the brand's name, what it stands for, and what you actually do with it afterwards, So, that's the short-term goal, is the brand awareness and growing it out.
Thank you, very much again for the two, thing. First, for the Chronicle, it was very interesting, and I hope you will be back maybe next month for another NFT Chronicle. And of course, we will continue to follow Booga's progress, because for the moment there is no digital assets on the market. So it's just a friendly push for a project and a builder and a team, because you're not alone behind this project, that we love in the ecosystem. Just to be clear to anyone, it's not a financial advice to invest in Boogas today or tomorrow, because today is not possible, by the way. Thank you very much, Rock. Thank you very much, everybody, for being this morning with me. It was, I hope, interesting, insightful. I wish you a very, very good day. Arnaud, have an amazing day. See you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 MultiversX.
Okay. I don't think he can talk.
He's eating, because I know at this hour Arnaud is eating normally. No,
I think he's in a meeting.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Joachim. As always, thank you, Tikapo. Thank you, Philip, that is in the audience now, and thanks everyone for coming this morning. See you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3. You can find the replay of the podcast on every platform like Deezer, Spotify, Amazon, and the others, and also on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment. It's very, very important for us. And see you later on X and elsewhere. Bye.